but...
This is number 10.
This is number 10.
Alright, go ahead.
Let's figure out what to hit. Alright. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Harm's Way Podcast. I'm your host, Craig. My beautiful brother, Eric here. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Excited
for episode 10.
Fucking
We're
10,
finally
baby.
into double digits.
Oh my god.
Double D's and double digits.
Double D's.
Got a lot to talk about today.
Oh, I'm sitting right here, okay? Please don't make fun of my tits. I'm trying to work on it as I... Bottoms up, this is the first episode. We figured 10 might be the first one that we do where we both are popping bottles, having a drink. Just for shits and gigs. It's a nice Saturday afternoon. I haven't drank during an episode yet. Hopefully it doesn't get out of hand. I don't drink that often, so if I start getting shitty, Eric, give me a
I don't know how
wink.
shitty you can get in an hour.
You'd be surprised.
With beer, I mean.
You knew me in my 20s, so...
Yeah, I mean, if we had like a full-on beer pong tournament going on right now.
Beer pong tournament.
We could try to do an episode while concurrently doing a beer pong tournament. That would be kind of fun.
I feel like that'd be better for like a live episode if we did end up going to Twitch or something in the future.
Yeah, sure.
Well, like maybe
Perhaps.
a few more people. I feel like if it's just you, me, in the basement, playing pong...
No. I mean, we'd have like 30 people down here.
30 people?
Yes. And there would be a tournament going on, and we'd be trying to have a pot. No, just that would probably be
No,
horrible.
I'm actually kind of interested. That does not sound like the worst idea you've ever had. I think... Let's circle back to that off camera sometime, okay?
Mm-hmm. We could just
I kinda like that.
could make the episode where we're commentating on the World Series of beer pong.
Yeah, that would be fun too.
That would be kind of
fun. The key is finding 30 people that don't fucking annoy us.
30 people to come to our basement?
Yeah, 30 people and not get turned into the police for a weird fucking flyer that would make. Or Facebook message? Facebook... I don't know.
I think we
You
could
tell
start with
us
30 people.
If 30 people would want to come to our basement and film with us. I'm going to say no. Maybe if we get to episode 300, maybe get some followers, some people that like us.
Now we're setting
more
some
than
goals.
7. Yeah. And then you get your tattoo. And then...
What?
Then I said we'll circle around. Or we'll circle back.
It's going to be a big circle.
But
probably around the earth a couple
the
times.
10 million fucking subscriber circle.
You're going to be circling around the earth a couple times.
So, no, but that's not a bad idea. I feel like we could make something with that work. But again, 30 people that we know. You and I, between us, we don't have 30 friends. Between us, I don't think we have 13 friends, Eric, to be honest. Which is sad, but those of you that listen to us, you're our friend.
It's part of
and we
getting
fucking
older.
love you for it. Huh?
It's part of getting older.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to... I actually wrote that as a topic, was shrinking circles. That I was actually going to try and turn that into an episode one day. I don't really want to touch on it now. For obvious reasons, it gets kind of dark. There's only so much fun you can have when you're talking about friends that you've lost over the last decade.
Well, no, it's not that. I've talked to you about this before, about how as you get older, your circle gets smaller. You don't have time for 300, 400 people, right?
300... I had a lot of friends back in the day, but I don't think
you
I had
have a
300,
lot of
400.
friends.
I had a lot of friends.
But like when it comes to
I'll take that
people
back.
you talk to every day,
I had a
every
lot of
other
people
day.
that I thought were my friends. I had a lot of acquaintances that were calling me friends. And then the second I needed them, again, we'll make a fucking episode out of it, okay? Because that's hard to not get worked up over. And I mean, we're fucking 3 minutes in. I don't want to get weird about that, but that's a dark up and down time of my life when the people I needed most fucked off. But again, we'll circle back.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
I don't want to do episode 10 talking about shrinking circles. I think shrinking circles is a great topic and a great maybe even a title for an episode, to be honest with you. But no, this is all about you and me, us, and this. Episode 10. This is, believe it or not, this is a very small milestone for us. I didn't think we would get to 10 at some point.
Really? You didn't think we'd get to 10?
I don't know. When I started buying shit, I kind of... I got a little, weird, like, buyer's remorse on some things, up and down. And then I don't know, Eric. Like, I don't know how to describe it. 10 was achievable But I take that back. Yeah, I thought we were going to get to 10.
Well, that day you told me...
I thought it was going to be harder than we thought.
You know, only 1% make it to 20 episodes or whatever. I was like,
21.
we're definitely making it to 20 episodes. Like, I'm going to die trying. Cause
and I definitely think it's more doable now.
We're already halfway there.
Not quite. It's 21, but yeah.
Whatever.
Tomorrow. Talk to me after tomorrow's episode, and then I'll
all right.
I definitely think it's obtainable, but I'll tell you the stuff that I've learned through this short journey thus far is pretty good. I've had a blast.
Yeah.
The feedback I get from you guys is fucking amazing. I love it. Thank you all. Even negative stuff or stuff that people say that we need to work on. Fucking love it, dude. I love it. I love that stuff.
What do we need to work on?
I don't know. I was just saying that just to make people feel better because no one's really giving us anything negative. I don't know if they're afraid to hurt our feelings. I take that back. The people that have been honest, the consensus, the one thing, if you will, is staying on topic and the flow. They say we're really good at the flow, but when we get off topic, it's like the Titanic. When that bitch splits, it's sinking. Once we get off topic, we're off topic for a little bit, which happens,
Fair enough. You know what I want to talk about?
No, hit me with it.
I had a good question. I had a good question for you.
Excuse me.
What's your favorite trash can food?
Favorite trash can food?
You know what I mean by trash can food?
Like you're drunk?
It's something that's simple to throw together, and you can scale it up to making a trash can's worth of it. And then you can just eat on it for days.
Like you could either church it up and make it gourmet or keep it simple.
Not even that. It's just a dish that's really simple to make that you can make a shitload of it and you can just eat on it for a week and be just content. Just actually in bliss even.
So, there's a couple, but I think my go-to is tacos. Anything taco related, I can, was a fan. And this kind of circles.
You can't eat a trash can full of tacos.
You can't?
No, I mean like I was thinking chili.
Oh, yeah.
Chili's really good. Then there's moose crap.
Dude.
Remember moose crap, right?
Moose crap you couldn't eat on for a couple of days because that shit wouldn't last 3 hours in our house. Moose crap to me, I still make that for Rach and Charlie sometimes. That's
another big one was chicken Alfredo because you just need to chunk chicken, cook it.
See, that's a weird one because
make pasta. And you can make a trash can full of that.
Yeah, I got you.
That's what I meant.
Crock pot
like
meals.
tacos are not a trash can food, right? Because you're not going to make a big vat of tacos.
I disagree with you.
Here, eat this.
I disagree with you.
You might make a box of individually wrapped tacos.
Rachel makes taco meat on the same scale that Mom did, and you remember Mom would make.
That's not what I meant by trash can.
Okay. Let me.
Like it's got to be
lasagna.
It's got to be a vat of something.
Lasagna.
Sure.
Trays.
You know what? Sure.
Because you remember Grandpa.
Because
you
can make a pan of lasagna,
or enchiladas,
and then you can stack 7 trays on them.
Yeah, and that's what he used to do.
7 pans worth.
But you remember what killed me about what he would say? Is he would say, Grandpa, he would say, my lasagna tastes better the next day. And he'd say the same shit about his enchiladas. So I don't know, our grandfather, Italian descent, he knew his Italian food. He made his Italian food really good. But then out of nowhere, he'd make these enchiladas where he'd do the same thing. So this is where I'm splitting it. I'm saying enchiladas or lasagna. Because he would make
for all his
5 or 6 trays of lasagna, he'd make 12 fucking trays of enchiladas and hand them out.
He'd make a shitload of food.
And I'm telling you, dude, you could smash his lasagna and enchiladas.
For all his flaws, he was a good cook.
Yeah,
he was a good cook. And it was funny because like you think about like making trays and trays of enchiladas or pans and pans of lasagna or whatever, and it's like you think about it, it's like, man, that's a lot of work. That would take me all day. He'd bust that shit out in like a few hours at most. While he was taking care of the garden,
he would. Well, most of it came from the garden. Don't forget,
a
lot of the tomatoes and stuff.
He would grow a lot of his own shit.
The enchiladas would take him a couple days though, because he would. Like he did stuff with the meat and the seasoning and the tortillas he used or the flour or whatever. Again, thank you for that. There's a trash can right fucking here.
I didn't even think about that.
That's gonna be great on camera.
Sweet.
Yes, so that would have to be. Yeah, even when he made his lasagna though, I know what you're saying. The preparation would take a day or two, but the him actually making them, yeah, he would be in the kitchen for I want to say like 3 or 4 hours, and then he'd just have these massive plates or pans.
What were those
Fuck.
The one thing. What was those really thin like wafer cookies or whatever?
Shut your fucking mouth if you're talking about pizzelles.
Oh yeah,
pizzelles were the worst fucking thing in the
world. They
were
the worst, but he would make like 7 metric tons of them every Christmas.
9,000 pizzelles, and he'd try and send them home, and Dad would be like, "Oops, they fell in the trash can." Dude, pizzelles, and I know...
He'd make a lot, I mean...
He made... Remember, he tried to get you and me to eat them, and he was like, how can I make these stupid motherfuckers
I would eat
these?
one, and I'd be like...
Dude, no. It has anise in it. We used anise for fishing.
So? He's like, Dad's made bread balls and shit for fishing.
Yeah, but did you eat those bread balls?
With vanilla?
That's not what I'm saying. Anise is to attract fish, and he's using the same shit in those cookies.
I would eat one of them, and I'd be like, I'm good.
Drywall.
Good. Don't need to eat another one. But he would make like a metric ass load of them.
He would, so those, you know those big totes? They're like thin, it's only like maybe 8 inches deep, but it's like 32 inches long. Yeah. He would fill those totes, and they're thin, dude. It's like stacking. They're like
I know, dude.
It's like
have bricks
paper
of them.
doily, and
you have bricks of them like this.
He filled this thing up, and
like the size of like a cheeseburger I would want.
Yeah,
but he'd have bricks of them like this
60
in their own individual bags, twist tied up or whatever. He'd have like 90 of those laid out on the counter.
So
he'd make a lot of other shit too. To be fair, though,
he tried to get Eric and I to eat these. Right, for years he tried to get Eric and I to eat these, and the one time he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna get these fuckers to eat them. I'm gonna make them out of chocolate. And pizzelles are usually these, they look like a ghetto snowflake, but they're always white, like, I don't know how to describe, like, those of you that know what we're talking about, you know how trashy they are. And he made them, and we come in one day, and there's just this fucking tote of brown ones. Just brown snowflakes. And he goes, I made these for you and Eric. I want you guys to eat them. I was like, okay, what are they? He's like, chocolate pizzelles. All right, I fucking Googled it. They don't exist, all right? He fucking made them. They probably exist now.
He dropped them on the fucking floor. That's why they were brown.
No, he actually cared, Eric, because I did feel bad about this, but I was like, all right, you know what, Grandpa? You went to all this trouble. You made them out of chocolate. Let me try one. And I bit into it, and for the love of God, I started dry heaving right then and there.
They were not good.
It was worse. I don't know how you had chocolate.
They were never good. They were just never a good food.
Only thing I've ever seen.
That's why I said
I would had chocolate tuning. It's worse.
Every year I'd eat one, and I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Because we tried.
I'm not going to eat another one. I'm not going to throw it up, but I'm not going to eat another one.
And he's probably up there laughing at us right now.
He could have made a couple dozen of them, sure, been just fine. But the funny thing to me was that he would just make pounds and.
We're not joking.
One of these was wafer thin. They weigh like, what, a couple grams? He would make pounds and fucking pounds of these things.
So you know that's fucked up when you're measuring pizzelles in grams, because that's straight up.
Well, they were really, it was like, they were brittle too. Like, if you tried to pick one up, you could fucking break it in half.
Well, he had like wastage. So like however many he put in there, he put like 3% away that were going to break and crumble and turn into that like dusted bottom.
Yeah. You could probably take like, what would be a good? You could probably take like marshmallow or maybe
anything.
I did not expect you to get up and walk away.
I left my beer in the freezer. I'm sorry. Trust me, everyone will understand. Literally anything.
No, I was gonna say you could probably take like one. Put like marshmallow cream or maybe like cake frosting, but you're not gonna spread cake frosting across it without shattering it. And then you could just like layer them up and keep doing that, and you could probably make like a bastardized moon pie or something.
No, I fucking did that shit, and he got mad at me. I tried to make a ghetto fat guy triple decker oatmeal cream pie with these cookies, right? And he was like, "What are you doing?" He got so offended that I was trying to make his shitty cookie better. Well, because he thought that they were already.
You know, he was Italian, more Italian than us. If you didn't eat, or you bastardized his food in any way, you'd get pissed. You'd get offended.
Yeah, but like, oh my god, I don't even know.
He would get offended. You come over and hey, you want a sandwich or something like that? He was always throwing food at us and whatnot. And if you didn't eat, he'd get pissed.
He was always using his.
He was the king Italian of the hospitality.
The king of the crippling guilt that he would hit you with. Yeah, he did, and he made like hand rolled gnocchis. Yeah. He used to call them gnocchis. Yeah. And still to this day, one of my favorite Italian pasta.
He was always trying to get me to eat Greek olives and shit.
Oh, so the Greek olives where I drink wine.
He would go and get all the Greek olives and all this exotic shit and whatnot.
He'd get feta. He knew like the 4 pound.
It's kind of like how Dad knows every back road between here and Chattanooga. Like Grandpa knew every like Greek and Italian store in the tri-state area.
Well, there was only one that he went to religiously, and that was the Italian store in Canton.
Yeah,
and everybody from
but he knew where all of them were.
Everybody from Canton knows exactly which fucking Italian store we were talking about because you talk like hand cut linguine, rolled gnocchi if he wasn't doing it himself. The lamb balls, the crazy giant meatballs, oh my god, just everything. You could go there and everything was homemade. Ravioli. Oh god.
Did I ever tell you the story about they featured some kind of Fox 8 featured some kind of Italian store one day or whatnot, and it was David Moss. You know David Moss. I don't know if you watch Fox 8 News very often, but
probably not. But
David Moss is one of the guys that he's like Kenny Crumpton. You remember Kenny Crumpton? You ever heard Kenny Crumpton? Well, Kenny's always doing like these destination stories. Like the other day, he was out at.
I watched destination food stuff.
He was out at Kenny was out at the Cuyahoga Valley National Park or whatever doing a story. David Moss would do the same thing, and he'd go around to restaurants and stuff. Well, he went to this Italian store one time and did a story about it that Grandpa saw. Grandpa saw him on the news at this Italian store. So Grandpa went to this Italian store and he had never been, I can't remember where it was at, but he had never been there. He went in and said, yeah, my friend David Moss told me to...
Oh my God.
Told me to come in here. And he said they waited on him hand and foot. They were running around grabbing everything he was looking
Grandpa
for. They put his order together. They just treated him like he was a king. And it was fucking hilarious when he told me about it. He was like, yeah, my friend David Moss told me to come down and check this store. And they were like, or check out this store. And
I only wish more people knew him. That's the only thing, because... the stories that we tell about him, the way we tell it, are fucking hilarious. But if you knew this man, it would be 10 times as funny because of the shit he did and said.
My favorite story of all time is I came over one day and I can't remember. I was out in the backyard with Grandma and we were talking and whatnot, and I noticed there was all these weird paths cut in the grass.
Oh no.
And I looked at Grandma, I said, Grandma, what the hell's going on with the yard here? There's weird paths cut to and fro. And she goes, your grandfather doesn't mow anymore, but he uses the tractor to get around, so he just engages the blade as he goes along. And I thought, what a fucking madman. It was weird. There's grass over here was 10 inches tall. Over here it was 3 inches. Over here it was cut down to the dirt. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in the yard?
The funniest part of that story, Eric, is the same yard you're talking about is the same yard I cut today. And I remember so many times seeing that. And yeah, he'd pull. The only person I know that would be pulling a trailer full of dirt in his fucking John Deere tractor and mowing while he's moving dirt.
He'd keep the tractor, and he'd keep the tractor down by the porch, and he'd jump on it just to go up to the barn. It's 80 yards.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's not.
And this isn't a big tractor. This is a lawnmower. This is a riding lawnmower.
Yeah, this is the garden. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that story is fucking hilarious. But those of you that knew him, it's even funnier.
Yeah.
Because he's almost like a myth in some ways.
He was a mixture of I don't give a fuck, I'm still living in the 50s, stone fuck nuts, too old to care, everything hurts, fuck you.
Maybe I'll
He's very colorful
next year.
He didn't say much, but he was a very colorful personality.
colorful, which is ironic because that's exactly what he didn't want.
Yeah, like I said, still living in the 50s.
He was our grandfather, man. I think
it would have been interesting if he was still around to get him down here. Could you imagine putting a microphone in front of him, getting the headphones on, and being like, let's just do this? Dude. We don't have to post it. If anything goes wrong, it just...
We get fucking shut down with the ACLU in a fucking heartbeat.
We didn't have to post it, but it would have been fucking hilarious. You know he would have went off the... Oh, man.
I feel like the FBI agents that are already listening to our shit would be like, hey, guys.
I feel like there's going to come a day where that FBI agent is like, damn, kid, you made it. I'm proud of you. He's gonna be sitting in that van, and he's going to take his headphones off, and a tear's going to roll down his cheek.
As he gets his next assignment. He's going to say,
you know, I'm going to go home and hug my kid.
Fuck it. No. The FBI, they don't have kids.
No. Anywho.
Yeah, that was a good little segment about Grandpa.
You never answered me what your favorite trash can food was, but...
It's probably his lasagna or his enchiladas. What's funny is Grandma has all those recipes.
I guess you could layer up enchiladas.
She's going to give them to Rachel, so she'll be able to make his enchilada. Well, we'll attempt it. I don't know how. You remember Grandpa's writing? It looked just like mine.
It did get really bad.
Yeah, mixture of like
he would grab
Ray
the
Charles
pen and he would
Big Bird.
He'd be whipping the pen like he was trying to chase a fly or something before he even got it to the page.
Yeah, like everyone wants to know where I got my shitty handwriting from, and it's fucking him.
No, you just have shitty handwriting. He was old as fuck.
First off, fuck you. Second off, fuck you again.
You have shitty. My handwriting's not all that good.
Yours almost looks like a woman wrote it though.
No.
You have
no.
You have the wispiness of his, but mine is like sharp and weird.
Wispiness, that's anger. That's rage. That's where I'm going to push back. I do not have the handwriting of a woman. There is a very distinct threshold where you cross into you have handwriting of a woman. I do not have it.
Okay.
Coincidentally, Dad's handwriting is actually really good.
Yeah, just weird because he's got
that's one of the weird
more than anybody.
As old and beat up as he is, you think his handwriting, you think he doesn't give a fuck anymore, but he's always had good handwriting. Because the labels on Christmas gifts.
Well, no, Dad writes.
You can always tell who it comes from because Dad's is really neat,
though, doesn't he?
He does, and it always looks visually appealing when it's on the
Everything
label.
he writes is a ransom note. It's fucking crazy.
He's got good handwriting. Mom does, but Mom's looks a little more like towards that threshold, right? She's a woman, nice handwriting, but
she's a woman. Thank you, Eric, for pointing that out.
Shut the fuck up. But it's a little bit more towards that threshold. Dad, yeah, he writes in all caps, but his is always really neat.
Dad writes like a graffiti
artist. Which is
artist.
Funny, because like if we had to list off the skills that our father has, neat handwriting. He is not the guy you would expect to have neat handwriting.
No, because he fucking types like this on a computer.
He's the type of guy you expect that he writes in like blood or spit or something.
Fuck. We need to stop.
He doesn't know what pens are.
He doesn't know what pens are.
Anyhow, should we talk about you?
Okay.
Not you in particular. Oh. You, the fucking show.
You did it to me again. You got it. Okay. I think for every segment of the show, an episode we do, we need to circle back to like a YouTube, could be YouTube, YubTub. We need to circle back to like a Netflix, a Hulu, a Paramount, HBO, some type of show we found that's pretty fucking good, and talk about it. That's fine. I think that'd be a nice, like, sticking to our roots kind of deal.
I just want to talk to you about it because that's what I've been watching recently.
Yes.
And
so Eric, for those of you that don't know, which obviously is everyone, Eric has recently stumbled upon the show You. I can't pronounce the main character's name. It's like Penn Badgley or something shit like that.
It's Penn Badgley. Very good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I always called him Bagley, and then I called him Bag Lady for a while because that rolled off the tongue better. But, see, Eric, how far are you, first of all?
I just started season 3.
You just started season 3?
Yeah, I'm season 3.
So Eric's actually...
Season 3, episode 3.
Eric's actually through a good portion of the Roller coaster. Now, was it like I said? How did you feel about season 2? Which season's better so far? If you had to choose gun to head, one or two.
I think your assessment of it was a little underwhelming.
Underwhelming?
Or wait, no, your...
Overwhelming. I hyped up season 2.
Your assessment of season 2 was overwhelming.
Okay.
It was
See, I was afraid of that.
You told me that season 2 and 3 is where they take the training wheels off. I wouldn't say that.
See, I thought...
It was compelling.
Season 1 is a lot of easing into shit. A lot of backstory.
Season 1's fucking crazy, too. But the thing is, this is like... I find this show funny. And I'm not sure you're supposed to find it funny. But the dialogue... First off, the dialogue is incredible.
Well, him narrating to himself is great.
The way they did that and the dialogue is... And by dialogue, I mean dialogue between characters and also his inner monologue when he's narrating.
Yes.
Fucking phenomenal. But I've found the show hilarious. Season 2 was not as hilarious as season 1.
That's where we disagree.
Season 2 was a little bit more... I thought it was a little bit more serious. I don't think it was like blow the door off the hinges kind of crazy like you had me believing.
See, I don't know how, because you had characters like what Gordy? Is it Gordy?
Gordy. Who's Gordy?
The chick's sister, the chick's brother.
40. Yeah, 40.
You had guys like 40.
40 was great because I hated him at first, and then I started to love him, and I fucking hated him at the end, and I was like,
it's a roller coaster.
Man, you need to stop.
See, most shows are doing a roller coaster of the show itself. Up, down, you like it, you hate it, up, down. You is unique because it does a roller coaster per character. Beck, season 1. You like her, you hate her, you love her, you hate her. Then
I'm not sure I ever liked her.
You didn't, for obvious reasons. Not because she's a woman or anything like that. I mean, because...
Thanks, Craig.
Because she's a woman that's tied solely into the world of social media, which is it's a turnoff for both you and I.
One of the reviews I saw was that it's a satirical take on... I can't remember the language they used exactly, but it was the entire show is a satirical take on... what's the word I'm looking for? The absurdity of life on and in social media.
Season 1, yes.
Like, your entire life is on social media, right? You're obsessed.
Yes,
you're obsessed with it. The absurdity of being obsessed with social media.
Excuse me. He points that out with his ability to find her and find out about her.
Well, there's that and just...
Season 2 is more along the lines of getting in his head, seeing what makes him tick. And then, dude, there's... Season 2, there was at least 3 or 4 times I thought he was fucking done. Mr. Nicky, or Dr. Nicky or whatever, I thought he was fucking done. A couple times, yeah.
What do you mean?
Penn Badgley's character. I thought
he was getting arrested?
Yeah, I think he was caught. I thought he was done.
In season 2?
Yes, season 2. Season 1 towards the end, you had 1 or 2 times where that happened, but the
end of season 1 just like caught me by surprise because I thought,
there was
obviously there's spoilers. We're talking about it. You should have turned it off by now.
But the end of season 2 was like that too, though.
The end of season 1, I thought Beck was going to be the girl through the whole show. I knew there were 3 seasons. Went into it. I thought she was going to be the girl through the whole thing. And then at the end...
Fair warning, there might be some spoilers in this episode.
That's what I just said. There's... If we're ever talking about something, there's spoilers.
Yeah, that's fair.
People should know.
Sorry,
turn it off.
I was just...
Shoot me a message. Tell me, hey, don't talk about this shit. I'm just kidding. No, I'm still going to talk about it. But no, at the end of season 1, like, it really caught me off guard how it ended. I was like... Because...
It did, yeah. It's a drop-off.
When he kills Beck and blames it on Nikki... Or frames Nick...
Yeah.
Frames Dr. Nikki, who's John Stamos, by the way. Fucking love that guy.
You like Stamos?
I just thought he was great.
We'll talk later.
Anyway.
Be another episode.
I lost my train of thought. Yeah, all that
frames Nikki.
All that happened so quick.
Yes,
just happened really quick. I was like, wait a minute.
That's how they did it, because the quicker they do that, the more obvious it is to you that a sequel's coming.
You felt a little bit like rape. Like I got raped.
You got cinematically
sodomized. I got cinematically sodomized.
That's fair, but at the same time, if season 1 was the rape, season 2 is the alright, I'm okay with it, let's have consensual sex. And season 3 is the like buy me dinner after this rock.
So I assumed Beck was gonna be the girl through the whole thing.
Once she found the stash.
Shut up. Listen to me.
Yeah, that's fair. My bad.
Whatever.
Fuck you, but yeah.
All that happened at the end, it was really quick, caught me off guard, didn't know how I felt about it. But we roll into season 2, and I like Love a lot more. I like her a lot more. I do. Before we get to the end of season 2, okay?
You don't know how hard this is to be quiet, but go ahead.
I liked her a lot more. I thought, shit. Like, this is when I started really, like, getting invested in it. And I was like, I like her more. Like, this is the kind of girl.
How do you not get invested from season 1, though? Like,
I mean, I was invested, but, like, we kind of took it to the next level with season 2. And I was like,
and I like
this girl.
That.
Like, I got invested because I kind of, like, started, like, putting myself in his shoes. And I was like, this is the kind of girl that I would want. Like, that I would be into. And then they drop all the shit at the end where
her origin story comes out.
One of the other kind of like put myself in his shoes moments was when he was trying to piece together what happened that night when he was tripping on LSD.
Oh my god. I need to go back and watch
I've never done LSD. But I've had a lot of those nights. Those terrifying next days where you're trying to put together a puzzle of what the fuck you were doing the night before. And may or may not have been some illegal activity going on. I'm not saying I ever murdered anybody.
Allegedly.
Shut up. But, yeah, dude, that was wild. And then, so I kind of had to, like, reassess after all those revelations came out about, like, he wasn't actually the one that, you know, killed what's-her-name and whatnot. So I had to kind of, like, reassess after that. And I came to the conclusion that I still like Love. Oh, my God.
How did you feel when 40 was the one that put it together? Like, his dumbass character, who you think... you think he can't
he was
even,
aided by drugs. He was on drugs, too.
Yeah, but the guy, they play this character up like he's like 2 seconds away from being a fucking hamster, right? Like his IQ's not good. Like he's not smart.
No. See, I disagree.
And then I read it. And and he's the one that is like, oh hey, you fucking killed her.
He comes off like the spoiled rich kid, whatnot.
The vindictive.
But the entire season, I kept thinking, I was like, he's more capable than you know.
Because he was there.
He was
right there.
He's plagued by a lot of fucked up shit like addiction and stuff like that. He's more capable than you know. And then, yeah, he puts it all together at the end, and I wasn't surprised by that. And I knew something was going to come to a head with him because of how all season he was just kind of the bull in the china shop. He was the dysfunction. He was the dysfunction that Love and Joe were not going to get. They were not going to get past. I knew something was going to happen to him.
At a certain point, yes.
I knew something was going to happen to him because he represented the dysfunction that they weren't going to get past. So I just kind of knew it was coming, whether it was Joe or whoever.
Joe.
I knew he was not living through the season because he was the barrier. He was the major barrier. You know, the whole first season is Joe taking out barriers. And then season 2 comes around, and there was a point in season 2, I can't remember exactly where it was, where Joe literally remarked to himself, like, I can't fucking do this shit anymore. like, I'm going to end him.
And when it got to that point...
I knew that was going to happen. I knew one way or another he was not making it out of season 2.
So, if you kick it back to their origin story...
But I started to like him a lot.
If you kick it back to their origin story, Love and 40. Remember, was it the tutor he had?
Yeah.
The tutor. Did she die?
Yeah. Tutor. I don't know if it was a tutor, but she died. Yeah.
40 was banging her, right?
They weren't banging. I think she was like being aggressively molestive.
Okay.
On him.
I thought because
according to Love's flashback,
they did play it up for a little bit, like 40 was the one that killed her, right? So
that's what he said.
In that regard, when I saw that, I thought to a certain extent, 40 was Joe. Joe is at some point going to have to kill him to kill himself. You know how, like, symbolically people have to kill themselves. And I took this in a weird way because this is why I love season 2 so much, because it had me. You know me. I'm just like Mom. I can fucking guess the end of shows or movies 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to have to kill 40 because it was like killing himself, because what 40 did to that tutor, teacher, whatever, was what Joe does. And then they hit you with the left field that Love was the one that actually ended up fucking killing her, right? To protect.
Yeah.
And then Love and Joe end up together.
She was his mirror image or whatever.
Yes.
Because she was doing things for the same reasons that he had done all the bad things.
So season 2,
he was trying not. That's the ironic thing is season 1. It's Joe doing whatever he can for Love or whatever he wants to justify it. And then season 2, it's her.
She's Joe's Shangri-La.
I don't know what
essentially,
that means.
She's like his match, his paradise. His season 3, he gets fucking wild.
You've seen the whole thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've watched it twice, and I'm probably gonna watch a third one. But yeah, I'll just leave it off with that. The show is so well put together.
It's really cool how they did the yin and yang thing. Like season 1, developing Joe's character and whatnot, and everything he did, and then season 2 is like he's trying to be the opposite, right? He's trying to be the good guy. The whole thing with Delilah and whatnot. He's trying to be the good guy, and then it turns out it's the girl that he loves and that she's in love with him. That's being him.
The whole show is Joe trying to be something that he isn't. And at some point, this is what I will say. This is the last thing I will say. At some point, when Joe comes to terms with who he is and what he is, that's the best Joe. And that's who it's supposed to be. Season 1, he's trying to be something. Season 2, he's trying to be something else. Same fucking things happen because he's not being himself.
Season 1, he's trying to be the good guy, but like first episode, he's masturbating outside Beck's house. It's fucking hilarious. It
gets worse.
It's just like better in the same way. Because you're like,
it's different. It's different. You're
sitting there like watching. You're like, oh, dude, you're watching her while she's in her. Oh, now you're masturbating. What the fuck, dude?
When they went to look for furniture.
Oh yeah, you're the good guy, Joe.
You're the good guy, Joe. Now go down on me in aisle 3. Beer. Beer on puppet.
Oh man, it's a good show though, and like
of all the shows I've watched,
the one other thing that I want to say is I gotta get off of Netflix for a while.
No.
After this is done, I gotta get off of Netflix for a while.
So this is because we talked about yours. Let's talk about mine.
I am emotionally invested in this.
That's what happens. See, and every time you make fun of me for not finishing Friday Night Lights, fuck you, because that's how I feel.
But you chose not finishing the show over your loving younger brother's speech at your wedding.
Oh my God.
You son of a bitch.
Oh my God.
Give me that. Give me the hatchet.
Take it. Take it.
Here, just smack me with it. Fuck you.
I did not choose a show over your speech, Eric. But now you know how I feel.
You did.
Oh my god.
I think you did.
You real son of a bitch. I can't wait to go over to your house. I'm just gonna take fucking bottles.
It's not my house. It's Dad's.
Fuck you.
Anyway,
when you finally get a house, I'm pissing in your living room. I don't fucking care.
I gotta. When this is done, I gotta walk away for a little bit. I gotta stop consuming media for a little while because.
No, we are media. That's the whole point of us doing this.
We are media. That's output. I'm talking about input. I gotta limit my input.
You need to input so we can output. It's just like eating and shitting. You have to input so you can output.
Not if you got the flu.
And believe me, I shouldn't. Yeah, you just output a little different of a property of mass. Mass? Matter.
I forget what I was gonna say. But anyway, yeah, I'm just like, my soul is just getting rended, and I'm getting pretty fatigued at watching all this shit.
You're at the point that I
yeah, it's just it's getting a bit
I disagree. I think this.
I told you the Dahmer documentary literally.
Ooh, that one will hurt you, yeah.
I felt tainted afterwards. It was rough to get through, and then I rolled into what the hell was I watching before you?
10-year-old me is laughing at the fact you just said taint, but yeah.
I said tainted.
It's close enough.
That's what it means. It means
I tainted myself.
You're poisoned.
I hit myself in the taint.
Shut up. Anywho.
Somebody out there.
Yeah, I'm just getting fatigued. That's it.
And see, remember what I told you? Huh? Remember what I told you Netflix does? You was part of that. Because
You was part of that?
Yeah, you was.
Hey man, people don't think it be like it is, but it do.
You mean you were? No, fucking listen to me, alright? You was part... The show You was part of that because right around that time, I was getting ready to dump Netflix. Like, hey, you don't have any good content anymore. You're putting the same 11 busted fucking shows and movies in front of me. I don't want to watch you. And You pops up. And I'm like, you know what? I'll get... Sorry. Oh my god.
Is it one of mine?
Oh my god. This 8-inch long hair. I was like, what's wrapped around my molar? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cancel Netflix. We're just gonna go with Hulu. I'll save the money. And You comes out. Mm-hmm. And Rachel goes, hey, I've heard some good things. Let's watch it. That turned into, let's watch the entire first season in 2.5 days, which we did. And I'm like,
2.5 days? That's cute.
I'm like, fuck you, all right?
No, it took me a couple days. And season 2 took no time at all.
No,
I watched that fucker straight through.
So, and then we waited the year or whatever for season 2 to come out, and then COVID and all this. It was hell to get season 3 released like around Christmas, so it's even more. And I think season 4 is coming soon. But it was one of those things where I was like, no, I'm gonna keep Netflix. I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna ride it out for the next 3 months, and then they're gonna do the same thing with a couple other shows, and they did. They just recently released a bunch of really good things on Netflix, and I hate how they do it because I've had my Netflix account for over a decade now, and
I know.
Of course you fucking dickhead. Josiah, or whatever the fuck your name is on there.
Jedediah.
But it kills me because I got... HBO Max is another one. HBO Max, if you have HBO Max, it's like $14, and I'll give that password to you too. You can watch...
No, I'm good.
You can watch Game of Thrones.
I owe you enough money.
I know, I'm just running the tab up.
Fuck you.
Like a taxi. You can watch Game of Thrones literally as many times as you want. And that's great too. And then you can watch the new Game of Thrones, which is House of Dragon that's out, which I highly recommend. But Amazon Prime, with this continuation of the Lord of the Rings, or the Lord of the Rings prequel, is a pretty good one too. I just watched today, actually, the new movie with Mila Kunis, The Luckiest Girl Alive, I believe. Pretty good watch, very dark. It touches on the school shooting high school shooting phenomenon, I guess you'd call it, or whatever the fuck's going on. Very dark. It's a good watch, but it kind of, for a very brief time in the movie, puts you in what kind of people want to see in movies about school shootings, which is the actual act. A lot of shows, they talk about it, reference it. They don't really show. I think there's only been like 2 or 3 decent shows about Columbine, but they really haven't touched on, what viewers and what historians want to see. This one was a little. It made you think. It's a good watch. If you got like an hour and a half, 2 hours to kill.
What's it called?
The Luckiest Girl Alive. And it kind of...
On Netflix?
Yeah. They just put it on Friday, I believe. Or earlier this week or something. Very dark. Good watch. Mine's not as intricate as you, because it's not a show. Because there are some really good shows on there, and I would have put together a proper list if I knew we were going to spend so much time on that, but...
I've seen most everything that's not like teenage whatever. Anytime there's like a show where it's like teenage drama shit, like Glee but darker, I don't watch that shit.
Glee but darker.
Yeah,
I would watch that 100%.
Like anytime they have like there's that Legacy show and
I watch that.
There's a bunch of other shit, and I'm like. If it's...
You'd be disturbed if you looked at my watch list. Lucifer?
If it's like something that's clearly geared towards high school kids, I'm like, I'm not even fucking bothering to watch it. Can't stand that shit anymore. I don't have time for it. Have you watched Cobra Kai?
Yes, but I've only watched season 1 and 2. I need to get back into that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I thought it was good.
It's pretty good. It gets really campy and hokey and like...
I'm not a Ralph Macchio fan by any means.
He's not even the star of the show. Johnny Lawrence is the star of this fucking show,
which is good, because like
it is. He's
great.
My god, man.
It's season 1 was very bad because he's not a good actor by any means. Johnny,
he's not bad.
He's not good. He's not Mark Wahlberg, but he's not good. And he...
You think he's better than Mark Wahlberg?
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, my cat's better than Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg... I talked about this before. The problem with Mark Wahlberg is it's taken him 20 fucking years to be like an okay actor. And the ceiling... We've seen the ceiling for him, okay? Time and time again. Back to Cobra Kai.
What is the ceiling for... Okay, never mind. Stay on topic. Back to Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I think the acting was a little rough in the first season, but I think he acts like the old 80s movies. I don't know, like he's like in it and out it.
That's part of his character though. He's living in the 80s. He's always been living in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The first season, he doesn't know what the fucking internet is.
I don't think Ralph Macchio...
social media... He doesn't know what any of that shit is.
I don't think Ralph Macchio's a good actor either, and he's had success.
I think a lot of I think he comes off really...
But their corny fight scenes kill me,
campy and shitty.
Their corny fucking fight scenes are... I dig them, because, I mean...
Best fight scene was the school. I think that was the end of season 2.
Yeah, that one was...
You seen that one?
It was either that or...
Yeah, like 40 kids just beating the ever-living fuck out of each other. It was when
Johnny and Ralph Macchio were fighting the biker people in that weird warehouse. That one, I like that one too. The school fight scene, it was like the first time they teamed up to like... I think they were trying to find Johnny's son, which the fact that Johnny has a son is fucking crazy. But
his son's a douche.
His son is a very, very, very bad actor. That guy, if you watch literally anything he's in,
never liked him.
He's the mini Mark Wahlberg. He's a dog shit actor.
He's not that good. Now,
no, he's bad. You can say it.
The guy that plays Miguel,
I like him.
Yes,
he's
great. I think his scenes are great. I'd say that kid is gonna be
he'll be a
fine actor.
I think the guy that plays Hawk is my favorite, though.
Oh, that guy.
Because I don't know what the scar is on his lip. Because if you actually watch, he's been in some other shows. He was in the show called Community. I watch, but he was in like a brief 30-second cameo kind of deal as a younger version of Joel McHale. And he didn't have that scar. And it was only 3 or 4 year difference between...
Well, I think that's a big part of his character, is that he had that scar, and everybody called him Lip.
But he didn't have that.
Made fun of and bullied and shit.
He didn't have that in the Community.
That's what I'm saying. In Cobra Kai, that's part of his character.
It's fake.
Yeah, it's fake.
Oh, see, I would know that.
Well, I don't know if it's fake. I would say it's fake, because that was a big part of... His name's Dimitri. That's a big part.
Which is a dope name for a kid.
Fuck yeah, it is.
I want to name Charlie Dimitri. I got shit on for that. Or Ivan. That was all.
What was I gonna say? I think that's part of his character, because he got made fun of. Everybody called him Lip. They made fun of him and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so that was part of his character arc, was he's this nerdy kid that says, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna roundhouse him in the face.
My name's Hawk.
Yeah, so he gets that fucking big ass tattoo, starts dating that hippie chick. Dude, that kid's my spirit animal.
The fucking tattoo was so crazy, because he shows up to the dojo and he's like, I got a tattoo.
That's a fucking full back tattoo on a 16-year-old.
Not even those guys. They're 14 or 15 in season 1.
They're supposed to be. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, which they're actually 21 or 22.
They actually, they did an interview with the girl who plays Tori. I can't remember her name. But they did an interview with her, and she said something about, yeah, we're all kind of getting too old to play, because they're busting out season after season every year. With it. And
now Tori is the blonde chick, right?
Yeah, and even she said, yeah, we're kind of getting too old to be playing high school kids.
I think her name's Peyton List.
Yes.
She was in... Rachel and I had this corny show we watched together called Bunked, and it was on the Disney Channel and stuff. And she was in that, but she was also in that shitty version of Monster. The Eileen Wuornos story.
Yeah.
They made a B movie, not even a B movie, it's a C movie, of... She played the Volusia County Monster, early origins kind of deal.
Yeah.
It was bad, man. It was a really bad... I think I got halfway through it. I had to turn it off. It was bad. Which is weird, because she's an okay actress.
I think she is. I think she's
plays the evil.
She's like the guy who plays
pretty well.
The guy who plays Miguel. His name is Zolo.
Zoltan.
Anywho,
Zoltan.
His name is Zolo. I can't remember his last name. It's Xolo. Zolo.
Alright, I take that back. That's actually pretty dope.
I think that's pretty fucking dope. And
I just love the fact that you said dope for the first time in the word.
Shut up. I'm a little bit...
we're getting tossed.
Pretty buzzed up.
We should take this to 2 hours and see.
I think Zolo's a good actor, and it's going to be cool to see what else he's in once all this is done. I don't know how many more seasons they're going to do.
I don't know.
Have you seen the most recent one? I think the most recent one was 4.
I think I'm out 2 seasons. I need to watch.
The most recent episode is... Now, if I was going to say from season 3 to 4, I'm assuming 4 is the most recent one.
Are you caught up?
Yeah, I've seen it all.
So you're done with season 4?
I think the most recent season is season 4, and assuming that it is, and I'm not wrong, when you go from 3 to 4, that's taking the training wheels off. Shit gets fucking crazy. It does.
See, the chick that plays Machio's daughter.
Yeah, Sam.
I thought she was a really shitty actress in the beginning, and I think from 1 to 2, you definitely see...
I would agree with that.
You see her kind of
too campy or whatnot.
I think she's going to be something big.
She's gotten a lot better. She's adorable.
Yeah, I don't want to... she is pretty.
She's adorable.
I don't want to say anything weird because I don't know how old she is, but yeah. You're still in your 20s. I'm not.
Oh. That's another thing I wrote down. Age gaps.
Like for wages?
Not wage gap, age gap.
All right. And?
No, that was just one of the questions I was going to float to you. Of
I need some context.
I'm 29.
Oh, you mean in
Would it be weird to date somebody who's 22?
No, not until next year.
Are you one of those people that think everything changes when you turn 30?
No, my knees definitely
changed. Somebody at work fucking told me that.
My ability to process milk changed when I turned 30. They say your body fully changes after 27. So from 25...
I'm fucked.
At 25, your brain fully develops, which I think is fucking hilarious.
And I inhibited the shit out of that with all the alcohol.
And then at 27, I can't remember if it's every 7 years. They said your body drastically changes every 7 years. Fact check us on that because I've
heard that.
But at 27 is the last milestone for your body. So after 27 is when I stopped being as allergic to poison ivy, which is weird. And then, so I gained that superpower, but then I lost the ability to, run. So, or, touch my toes or put my socks on. So, the give and take is really fucked up. So at 33, I'm anxious to see what's going to happen. Am I going to lose long division, but, I can fly? Or, what the fuck happens?
I was told by somebody at work that once you turn 30, it's that's it. You're done. Girls don't like you anymore.
Girls don't like you anymore?
And I was like...
Do you know how many girls are out there with a daddy kink? That's
well, no, I was like, well, that's kind of shitty, because, guys...
No.
Yeah, it was the thing I told you about before, how, guys... women are always kind of looking at older guys, because when you're 20 and she's 20, you don't really have anything to offer. You're kind of just fucked. But when you're 30, 32, 35, and she's 25, you're looking great because, you're established, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe that's it. I don't know, though. I honestly, I think more women have, a natural... I think they're naturally more attracted to older guys. And older being, 30, 40, 50s. I don't know too many 60-year-old people that are, pulling 20-year-olds that aren't millionaires or billionaires. You know what I mean? I think...
I'm also not
60. 30 is a weird... I don't know, man. 30 is a
that was the thing.
40 might be different because I can get my life back on track.
The guy I was talking to, he's like, once you turn 30, it's girls are allergic to you. I was like,
that's
what? I was like, bullshit.
Unless he's
I was like, that's not
sitting outside of bars and clubs and stuff. Maybe. I think that guy who said that had a bad Tinder experience. That's what I think.
He's married. He's got 2 kids.
Oh, he's fucked then. But I'm just kidding. Sorry, baby.
No, I just...
That's a real jaded way to look at it. No, because I see a lot of people my age that are successfully dating. Maybe it's not successfully because it's dating plural, but you know what I mean. They're average looking people. They're not the Jason Statham looking motherfuckers. Jason Statham without hair, I feel like a lot of women are attracted to him. A lot of women in their 20s and
probably
maybe early 30s are really attracted to him. And he's Christ, how old is Jason Statham now? He's got to be 50, right?
So fucking rich.
40? You know what? That's a valid point.
I mean, anybody that sees him in a fucking movie and thinks,
you're right. Rich. There's no way to track this then because I don't know. I feel like I'm looking older every year.
I think if I look like Jason Statham, bald as shit, ripped as shit, athletic as shit,
girls wouldn't be allergic to you.
No, they'd still be allergic to me.
Because I'm not rich.
Because I'm not in any fucking movies. And I'm not rich, yeah.
See, I don't know, man. So you're saying in 2022 that money still makes you sexy?
I think so.
Oh, 100% agree with you.
Okay, let's talk,
I
think for a lot of women, money is attractive.
This circles back around to, remember, I believe it was last episode, we talked about the people that said money can't bring you happiness, or money can't buy you happiness,
and
money can't fix your problems, and we we fully disagreed with that shit.
Yeah.
So money, you think money makes people attractive?
I think it can.
I think it does.
And I
think 100%.
I don't think it makes you attractive. I think it makes whoever's coming after you look the other way. You think Anna Nicole married for love?
Oh, that's
some shriveled fucking raisin who couldn't stop shitting the bed?
That's a rough.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I'll agree. I think. Yeah, I think no matter what year it is or where we get to,
it's not just money. It's not just money. It's clout and persona too.
I disagree, but go ahead. You finish yours and I'll finish.
I was thinking of Hugh Hefner.
Big dick.
Was that all money? Was that all money? Was that all money that... Because he also kind of had like this persona.
That's hard to gauge.
That's an iconic persona that you're never going to replicate.
He was like OG around that stuff. Like if you ever watched the full like of what he did and what he contributed and who he was like fired by like multiple, like he had this idea of what he wanted to build, this empire, and everybody fired him because they said he was too out of the box, and he ended up doing it on his own. Hugh Hefner's a weird one because it's like you don't know what he stood for, but you knew that he stood out, and what he built, he did like 100% by himself. Like Hugh Hefner was the fucking man because he did it when people were uptight.
He was a persona.
Yeah, but he built that from ground.
He didn't just have
zero.
Money. He didn't just have money. He was rich. Yes.
I don't think he was always rich though.
I don't think that was just money.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
I don't think that was just money.
Steering back.
That was persona, and he's a goddamn icon.
Well, he contributed to America not being so uptight, to loosening up, and I think that's a rough one. So I don't think the clout and the persona has to. I think if you have enough money, let's say you and we go out and we're both single or whatever. We go out and we're just eating at a fancy restaurant. Nobody's paying us any mind. Excuse me. Nobody knows who the fuck we are. But we pull around, our vehicles get pulled around, and we're pulling around 2 Maseratis or 2 Lamborghinis or something. Right there. That doesn't count as a persona, that's just shit we have. People are going to look at us and be like, oh, fuck. Is that their whip? And right away, for the female ones, our attractiveness is going to start climbing, whether they know who we are or not. Do you think at that point people are going to try and talk to us?
Yes.
Then I feel like my point's proven there, just in that.
What is the point you're trying to make?
My point is to stop drinking Guinness Extra Stouts when we do video, 2 episodes.
What the fuck?
No, I don't think clout goes with it. I think if you let your money talk, I think your attractiveness will grow. And as sad as that is,
that's what I was trying.
And that's not me calling women as a gender shallow or anything like that. I'm just saying
that's what I was trying to separate. Is it just money?
Yes. I think it's just money. Yeah. You said you think it's clout persona. I think it's just money. But I'm not going to try and sway you because it could go either way, honestly.
Well, I was thinking of Hugh as an example of it might not just be money. It might be because he is a mythic persona.
But he built from ground zero. Like he...
Was it just, if you had to look at him, was it just his money? Or was it kind of like... He was legendary.
I think it was everything.
He was legendary.
Because if you look at pictures of him...
It wasn't just money. It was legendary.
Yeah, but that was... He had a lot more things that my example wouldn't have. If you look at pictures of him way back when, he was not an attractive dude by any means.
So also thought about... You remember Dan Bilzerian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I just started thinking about him, and
he was like, an okay-looking dude.
He was an okay-looking dude, but I started thinking, like, did he get as much attention from women before he made all that fucking money gambling and
probably not, but he also knew some famous people from then. So again, it's who's the example of the guy that came out of nowhere? That's what we need. I feel like, excuse me, any example we get is either going to be, it's going to be somebody. We're at 105, so I'm just going to keep going.
I don't care. I got 3 more beers.
It's going to be somebody already established and known, and I don't think that's the best example. I don't know. Actually, to tell you the truth, I still stand firmly with money. Money would speak for itself, because how many times do you watch those videos online where the guy's like, he tries to talk to the woman and she's like, God damn you, Bernice. He tries to talk to the woman and the woman's like, no, I have a boyfriend, and then he pulls around his, Lamborghini.
I see a video like that.
And then all of a sudden
she just snap,
because he has money. Because in that moment she might have looked at that guy and been like, he's not attractive.
Does that shit gross you out?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
That grosses me out.
It makes me sad that that's where we're at, but at the same time, like, who am I to be offended or to be grossed out by that? Because that's the way it's always been, Eric. Like, you and I aren't going to change that, but I still, to this day, and I wish people would listen to this and give us a comment, or I would love some feedback on people thinking, give me an example of where money doesn't fix your issues. That's what I want to know. Because again, I feel like the only people that say that shit are people with money. People that don't have the issues that you and I have, that could 100% at this point in our lives be resolved by money.
Well, I mean,
massive amounts of money.
Could be extremely lonely and rich, and then you meet a girl you really like, and she just doesn't want you.
Next girl. Easy.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll keep fucking going, man. I don't understand how all these celebrities and famous people and fucking rich people are like, oh my God, my life is so bad. Like, motherfucker, have you ever hit
There's a certain threshold where it's like, you're literally not allowed to complain about
Have you ever hit a vehicle from the repo man? Have you ever survived $13 on a week and a half? Have you ever eaten, McDonald's dollar menu for 8 nights in a row because you literally had no fucking money? No. These people haven't had these issues, okay? Maybe they have and they made it to where they're at. That's fine. But you don't have these issues anymore, okay? This is shit that I've faced on a daily...
Jack Ma couldn't even get a job at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Supposedly. Allegedly. I don't know if that's true. He seemed like a sweet guy.
Who?
Jack Ma. Owner of Alibaba.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think that's Alibaba.
Alibaba's like the Amazon.
Fact check me on that.
That's the worldwide Amazon, right? Like, you can get like motorcycles and shit off Alibaba. Yeah. That's what I mean. So but
Jack Ma, he seemed like a really sweet guy, though. He was like, "Hey, man, listen."
He's very humble. Yeah.
Yeah, very humble guy. He was like, "I didn't even get a job at fucking McDonald's."
So I don't understand where people have the gall to say that to people. Like, oh, money doesn't buy you happiness. Money buys me the things that make me happy. So you tell me how money doesn't buy me happiness. But also, money, and I'll give you a great fucking example right now, Eric. Money doesn't buy you happiness. Money doesn't buy you love. Have any of you motherfuckers ever looked at the spouses of NASCAR drivers? Anyone? Go ahead, I'll wait. Google that shit right now. You're gonna tell me to my face that Kyle Busch, who is by far one of the ugliest looking motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life, how he pulls a 10? How? It's not his personality. Anybody who's spent 5 minutes in a room with him knows he's a fucking piece of shit.
He is. He's a royal piece of shit.
How does he end up with women like he's end up? How does a NASCAR driver, and some NASCAR drivers are okay looking dudes. I thought Rusty Wallace back in the day, that was my dude. I thought he was a good looking guy, right?
Jeff was a good dude.
But you're going to tell me that Joey Logano
Joey's ugly as fuck.
Joey Logano ends up with 10s. You're gonna. Carl Edwards.
Who's the ugliest NASCAR driver?
Oh, Kyle Busch, 100%.
You think it's Kyle?
Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch.
Greg Biffle.
But Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski, and I love that he drives the Miller Lite too.
I don't think Brad's that bad looking.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Logano looks like he used to steal like chiclets from the fucking candy store. And then, but you have Kyle Busch looks like he 100% used to tell on kids in school just to get off. Kyle Busch which is weird because what's his cousin, Kurt Busch, which was at one point
his brother.
His brother.
It's his brother.
Kurt's
not bad looking.
Kurt's a good looking
Kurt's
dude.
never, yeah.
But Kurt's also not a giant fucking cunt. Like, I don't
exactly.
get it.
Kurt's not a giant cunt.
What about best looking NASCAR?
Best looking? Carl Edwards, hands down.
You think Carl Edwards? I just had him on my sheet.
I never liked the guy, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. I think Carl was.
Okay, maybe I retract my
There's
statement.
a guy on YouTube that actually broke down why Carl Edwards might have been one of the greatest drivers of all time. He just never had, like, the stars align.
Well, it's because of the back.
Carl
right?
actually, when he was in, Carl actually had a pretty good career.
He did. He won big races.
He was consistent. He was competitive. He was probably more competitive than, God, most of them.
See, I think the most.
I never liked him, but he was a good driver.
The most competitive driver, and you're probably not gonna agree with me with this, because we both at one point in our lives fucking hated him. Can I get that?
Don't you fucking.
I have to, Eric. Hand me the thing.
Who are you gonna say?
You know who I'm gonna say, because the.
I swear to God, Craig.
Eric, I still to this day I might not like him, but the competitive driverness.
Don't you fucking dare.
Was Tony Stewart.
Oh, thank God.
Who'd you think I was going to
say? I thought you were going to say Jimmy Johnson.
No, we don't talk about him.
No, I'll level with you on Tony Stewart, but I will never.
I'm not going to talk about shovel face.
I will never concede on that motherfucker.
Tony Stewart. Great. One of the greats. We might hate him. I started to forgive him. You and I were at Bristol when my man Kevin Harvick put him in the wall on the last lap.
I remember and that was fucking.
Remember, we were high-fiving people. We've never fucking met before. That was a great time.
Kevin put him in the wall.
Kevin put him in the wall on the last lap, and it was like Kevin Harvick. That's what I loved about Kevin Harvick. If you look back, Kevin Harvick never had the fastest car. Okay, yet how many fucking wins does he have?
He's got quite a bit. He's still racing.
But I know.
He was supposed to be like a year or two after Gordon.
I know.
No, he's still going. 8 years later.
You have a lot of guys out there that the majority of the time they had the fastest car. You can tell they've had the fast. Waltrip's always had the fastest fucking car, right? Kevin Harvick never had the fastest car, yet he was fucking demolishing people. I think when it comes to competitiveness and driving, Tony Stewart, number one. But I think if you take somebody and put them in a shit wagon, beat up fucking 97 Civic, and you tell them to win, Kevin Harvick would do it. The guy he just found a way. He had an edge that most people didn't. I don't mean had like past tense, because obviously, like Eric said, he's still racing. But to me, one of my all-time favorite drivers to watch. Besides Krusty Rusty. Krusty Rusty is my dude till I fucking die. I love him. Rusty had... you gotta think, Rusty raced against the craziest of the crazy.
I showed you.
And he still won.
I showed you that video of Keselowski when Gordon got into that tiff at Phoenix. They do the post-race press conference, and Brad Keselowski goes, "That's fucking bullshit." I showed you that video.
No, I think
I've always liked that kid because he came in.
Keselowski?
He came in not long after. I think he came in pretty much the same time.
Hit the overlap.
That fucking Logano and fucking Hamlin and all these Ivy League motherfuckers. And Keselowski comes in, and like I think it's like third or fourth year in the Cup Series, he fucking wins the championship. I always liked him. I did.
What's crazy about Logano took Tony Stewart's car, the Home Depot, right? He took the car.
Yeah.
The very next race, Tony Stewart with new sponsorship, new team, everything, whoops his fucking ass.
When he was in the 14?
Yes.
Yeah.
Busts his fucking... Oh, another goofy-looking motherfucker, but I really liked him, was Clint Boyer. He drove the Jack Daniels.
No.
Drove the Jack Daniels.
You are not allowed to say that in front of me.
You don't like Clint Boyer?
No.
Clint Boyer.
The only thing I like about Clint Boyer is whenever they would show the race on TV and they would show his car and they would bring up the graphic at the bottom that would say Clint Boyer, the L and the I would run together and they would say Cunt Boyer. That was the only thing I liked about that motherfucker. I used to laugh my ass off every time I saw that. The guy is a fucking piece of shit. I've never liked him. No.
Okay.
No, the whole thing where he got into it with Gordon at Phoenix that one day, he ran like a half mile down pit road into the pits and back up just to point at the guy and yell. He's a cunt.
I like...
He's a weak ass motherfucker.
No, I was going to say Gordon, but yeah, go ahead.
He's a weak ass piece of shit. He's not a fighter. He wants everybody to think that he's this hard ass motherfucker. There's a lot of dudes He's
like that.
not. He's not. Half the guys in NASCAR now couldn't hold a candle to your average dirt track racer that's out here at fucking Deerfield or Mid-Ohio or whatever. Those guys fucking they whip shit every fucking night.
That's what I miss about the glory.
So don't even act like a hard ass in front of me, cunt, because I know you're not.
I liked Gordon because he did that shit. He threw his helmet. He tried to fight people. He was this little firecracker of a human being that would try and fuck anyone up.
He never really had to. He never really got in many fights. Like he was just a good fucking racer
until he became teammates with you know who. And then people were putting him in the See, that's what kills me about Jimmy Johnson. That one time
Johnson tagged him at fucking Texas. I was ready to jump through the fucking TV. I wanted to kill that motherfucker.
That dude. I think
you want to talk about like somebody who's like
I think he's the soft.
Gordon, Harvick, even Stewart. A lot of those guys, they at some point or another, they always came off as humble, and you could level with them. Jimmy Johnson was like a psychotic robot. That guy didn't know the word humble. He was a prima donna narcissistic piece of shit.
I don't know who
and I hated him.
I don't know what's his fan base like.
I don't know what goes through his mind.
A Jimmy Johnson fan,
but even like Tony Stewart could be like humble and you can level with him. Johnson, never. That guy was it was like DARPA built him in a fucking lab to come in and fuck up the Sprint Cup Series for fucking 8 years. I don't know, man, but not cool. He was not cool. I'll never like that guy. I will find common ground when it comes to Tony Stewart, even after he killed a guy. But I will never find common ground when it comes to Jimmy Johnson. That guy is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, I've never liked him. I don't, like I said, I don't know who does. I've never met a Jimmy Johnson fan.
I shouldn't say always loved.
Because he's not done anything for the sport. Like, everyone else has done something for the sport.
Yeah.
And I feel like he got to a point where he got wins handed to him. He got, team wins.
What I like about Tony, even though I never liked him as a racer, you can tell that guy loves racing more than anybody that's ever.
That's what I mean.
That's ever been in NASCAR.
That's what I mean. That's
when he bought that racetrack out in.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's either in Indiana or Ohio, but it's like really close to the border. Eldora.
Yeah.
He bought that track, and I think it was. I don't know. I seen a video where they were about to have a big race there or whatever, and Tony was on the tractor, dragging the track.
Yeah.
He's just bumping along or whatnot, and they were like, yep, there goes Tony Stewart dragging the track and whatnot. I was like, that guy loves what he does. He loves what he does, and he is putting his blood, sweat, and tears into that track to make sure everything goes well and they have a good race. So, I never liked him as a racer, but as a human being, even though he killed a guy, it's
the guy he'd race shopping carts and be competitive.
Yeah,
hats off to him. I mean, like you said, it is pretty fucked up. I've seen the footage of the guy he hit, and I still don't know. I mean, I would like to think that it was an accident, like he says, But it's I don't know. It's pretty weird. Like everybody, it was all over, social media and shit. And everybody's like, "Oh, here's Tony Stewart hitting a guy," and you realize like halfway through it, you're like, "Oh, he just fucking hit that guy. Like that guy's dead. Like it's not like he broke his legs."
There were some people that said, "Oh, you could hear the engine rev before he hit him or whatnot."
I didn't
see that from the video.
I didn't hear that. I watched it. I listened to it. No,
I did not. Yeah, I didn't see or hear that from the video.
And I think they were 2 or 3 wide when he came around too. So I don't think he really had a place to go. But then again,
they were under caution,
too.
so they were. I think they were single file.
The coolest thing was Juan Pablo Montoya's fucking dumbass hitting
the jet dryer.
The jet dryer. You were down there.
I was.
You were there.
I was present for that.
I don't know. I think because he said how.
We were.
I don't know how you hit that.
We were all sitting in the dorm room, and we were watching it on TV, and we see him bombing around because he had to catch up or whatever. He had to go.
Oh my God.
Pit out a sequence, I can't remember, but he had to go out. He had to go out and come around, catch the back end of the field.
Yeah.
So he's bombing down the backstretch or whatnot.
Straight away.
There's a jet dryer.
He come out of that
in turn 3.
Well, he come out of the turn.
He went into turn 3, and I remember watching it on TV. They're looking down the backstretch, and he's coming towards the camera. There's a jet dryer in turn 3 because you just seen him go out of frame.
Yes.
He comes down, gets squirrely. And they're like, and then they cut to it, and he had hit this thing, jet fuel all over the goddamn track.
He went through it,
and he destroyed his fucking car. He destroyed.
It's just
it was a truck. It was a truck pulling the jet dryer, which was on a trailer. He hit the jet dryer dead on.
I know.
The only thing I can think is he had to have done it on purpose. I don't know how you can be.
They brought up.
I don't know how you can be that dumb.
You remember when you watch and they show you the in cab and they have the brake meter, which is the rating that they're hitting the brakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
They showed that when he hit that, and the brake meter was at 0, meaning he didn't touch his fucking brakes.
I don't know, but we were sitting in the dorm room, and we were watching this happen. We were watching this unfold. And he came down and blasted the jet dryer, and we were all like, "What the fuck just happened,
dude?"
And then they showed
90,000 other people.
They showed an infield shot of it, and it was just a column of fire. And I went, "Oh shit!" So what do? I go running outside.
And you saw it,
and I'm standing there 300 yards away from the column of fire, and it's just. It happened in turn 3, which turn 3 was right next
to the school,
to our campus, and people are probably going to guess where I went to school from this, but anyway, I walk outside and there's just a column of fire.
They're going to guess Daytona State.
300 yards from me. I was like, holy fucking shit.
I know. Man. Did you see the guy that was fishing on Daytona on turn 2 at Daytona?
Fishing?
Because of the storm they just had. He was fucking fishing, and he turns his camera, and the Daytona Motor Speedway sign is right there with the banks, and he's just on his bass boat. He's fishing the infield.
Why?
Because the infield has that lake.
Lake Lloyd.
But that Lake Lloyd,
it's like 50 acres.
It's a massive lake for.
So did it flood? Did the infield flood or whatever?
Everything flooded. If that flooded all the way past your school. My Waffle House was underwater.
When the fuck was this?
Last week.
When
Hurricane is it Ivan?
Ian.
When
Ian went through?
Ivan already happened, but yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, it hit.
Yeah, Ivan.
It fucking tore up Daytona. Krabby Joe's. Krabby Joe's is okay. The back dock that the dad and I used to fish off of, gone.
Wait, where? Out at
to Mexico.
Seaside? What are you talking
Krabby Joe's, the place Richard Petty's favorite restaurant. Krabby Joe's.
Are you talking about that
the Peter restaurant? Yeah. Fucking they had, so we would eat at the restaurant. We would eat at the restaurant, and then the back pier of it, you pay $6 and they give you fishing stuff. And Dad and I, we used to catch those sheephead.
I didn't know that's what you guys are...
Yeah, that was just down from our hotel.
I didn't know that's what you guys were doing.
You were taking finals or something.
Yeah.
And Dad and I, and then Mom and Rachel, I think, went shopping or something.
Oh, I didn't know you guys were fishing that trip. I know that one time you guys came...
We went on the charter.
I know that was when you guys came down and picked me up freshman year.
Well, the charter we did when we all went down there. And then
that was when you guys came down for graduation?
Krabby Joe's, we went and ate there one time, and Dad was like, hey, do you guys let people fish off of this? And
you can put it right through my hand, I don't give a fuck.
And they were like, yeah, it's like $6 or some shit like that. So Dad was like, hey, fuck you to hell. Let's let the girls go shopping, and we'll go fishing. And I was like, yeah, I've never pier fished, the Atlantic, that'd be fun. And people were like casting out really far to catch these big motherfuckers, right? And I look down, and this one guy, he's catching these sheephead. And I'm like, and they look like they're fighting pretty good. And I'm like, what is that? And we're like, we're from Ohio. And he's like, they're sheephead. He's like, all you got to do is drop straight down, and then when they kick, yank their lips off. I was like, that sounds amazing. So everybody's casting out, trying to get like a fucking grouper and shit, right? And Dad and I are just dropping down, and we're just like, yoink, yoink.
Trying to get these sheephead.
We're ripping these lips off these fucking sheephead, and they're just this little, like they're about this big, but they fight like a good catfish up here. And Dad and I are letting our brakes out, and they're taking it. We're fighting them for a second, reeling them, fighting for a second, and then we get them up, and I'm holding on to them, and I got some pictures on my phone, but they're these little, zebra shaped or zebra striped round balls of muscle.
Yeah.
And the guys that are cast out real far, they're not catching dick. And Dad and I are just every time we're dropping straight down, we're catching these.
This was on the pier?
This was on the pier. And they were like, hey, if you take these in, they'll cook them for you. And Dad's like, nah, we don't hook them, we throw them back, and we immediately go back. And then we get more bait.
It's an Ohio thing.
Dude, it was that was the epitome. Because these guys were sick of that shit. They'd done that shit already. Dad and I had we did the same thing with the sea bass on the charter we went on.
Well, on the charter, was that freshman year when you guys came down to get me?
No, that was your senior year. We were there for your graduation. You fucked off and did some shit with your friends. I think that was
That's a weird week.
That was the morning after the World of Beer. So Dad and I were fucking talking. They had like a bathroom on the ship, I think. And it was a charter. It wasn't the charter that Dad and I thought it was, but it was super cheap. Dad paid like $60 total for both of us.
No, World of Beer was another time.
Maybe that was, but
it had to have been another trip because I was living on campus at that time. The World of Beer trip, I think, or maybe it was. I don't remember.
I think this was This was when we were there for your graduation because we were packing you up to bring you home, right?
Yeah.
No, we had Grandma there, right? No.
Grandma was there for graduation.
Where did Grandma stay?
She was in a hotel room with Mom, and then you and Dad were in a hotel room.
Well, Rachel was there for your graduation, wasn't she?
No.
She didn't?
No.
Anyway.
It was just us 5.
So, the charter...
Yeah. Because I remember that was when...
That's what I want you to...
Because I moved it. You guys had the hotel room for the whole week. The hotel rooms for the whole week. I graduated on like a Thursday or something. And
maybe it wasn't that day.
I was already moved out, and then we went to the graduation ceremony and whatnot, and then I stayed one night with you and Dad in the hotel.
That wasn't this trip.
Remember?
This trip, the charter...
I left my computer screen there?
Yeah. Oh, when I picked it up, and I fucked...
Well, you threw my...
I tried to fuck with you, because
That was my computer. Because I still had... Believe it or not, I still had the box.
I still think about that.
From when I bought the...
I still think about that from time to time.
I had everything in the box and whatnot.
I feel so bad about that, because you were like... I only let it go on for like 10 seconds, but it was like the worst 10 seconds of your life. You're like, oh my god! But it wasn't that time. It was when...
I thought some crackhead stole my computer.
It was when... We'll give you the full story some other time. It was when we all went down for a vacation. So I don't know what year, but Mom and Rachel went shopping, and Dad and I went on. It was supposed to be this all-day charter, and it was supposed to be this like...
That must have been sophomore year.
Must have been.
Because freshman year was literally just me, mom, and dad. They took me down there, left me.
Yeah, fuck off.
Here you go, your new life.
For 4 years, fuck off.
Sophomore year, because...
Isn't it crazy?
Sophomore year, I think you and Rachel came, because that was, remember when I got mono? I was all fucked up. I was just fucked.
I just like how we let you do your thing, and we turned it into, like, the typical, like, tourist vacation.
Yeah.
Like we...
You guys used me as a pick.
Yeah. We'll see at the end of the week when we take you home. But, because I think I drove with you back a couple times when you came back with us.
You and I...
You wouldn't let me drive your car, so I just... Or no, I did drive Skeletor once.
When you and Dad... Stretch. So there was... At the end of freshman year, you and Dad came to get me. Just you and Dad. Dad still had his F-150, that green F-150.
Yes. How that made to Florida, I don't know.
You guys, I remember you guys rolled up to the door. That was when Dory was fucking with you. Remember? He kept talking. He kept talking in Japanese to me, and I had you thinking.
He said Ito. Like I don't know that fucking Ito isn't a made-up Japanese fucking term.
He was trying to speak English.
I'm not convinced he knew Japanese.
No, he does. He does.
I know, but he said Ito in front of me.
He was trying to Americanize himself.
Fuck him. I know.
He came in speaking Japanese. I was like, yeah. And he goes, no. And then he was dumbing it down.
He said Ito, Eric.
Yeah,
I know
he said,
I
go, Ito. And I was like, yes, I'll be there in a minute. Give me a minute. He walks out, and I looked at you, and you looked at me, and you went, is he fucking with us? Dad just starts laughing. And I stand up and go out in the hallway. Dory is literally in the middle of the hallway, just dying, just losing it. And then he comes in and he goes, "Hi, my name's Alex."
Fucking dude.
It was fucking great.
That was a good time.
That was freshman year. You and Dad rolled up in his F-150. We literally threw just all of my shit in the truck bed, and we're like, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. I think we had Waffle House, and then we bounced.
Yeah. And that was...
That was a quick trip, though. That was only like a weekend or something.
That was you guys did a cannonball run down to Florida to come get me.
Yeah, it's Dad, dude. He can sit like this for 19 fucking hours.
Yeah.
Not pissed, nothing. So, he has a weird fucking way of driving long distance.
So there was that. And then, when I went back to school after that summer, because that summer I came home, and that was when I got my job at Phantom. That fall, when I went back for sophomore year, is when we all went down. And that was when I got mono, and I was all fucked up.
Yeah.
And then...
I didn't realize we went down every year.
You didn't go down every year, because after that...
Oh, dude.
Shit got fucked up, because...
The hurricane?
No, I did my first semester of sophomore year.
Oh, yeah.
I had mono. And then...
This whole thing took 6 years.
I got...
Right? Because of your co-ops and stuff?
Yeah. I did one semester of sophomore year. Went and did my co-op. And then... I went right back to school for a semester. And then I went back and did my last semester of the co-op.
Okay.
And then I went back to school, after that I came home for the summer. And then I went back to school, and I did my junior / partial senior year or whatever. And then I ended up, I can lay it all out, but ended up going out west.
Yeah.
Did another internship, and then I came home for a couple weeks, and then I went and did my last semester, and I graduated.
Yeah. So one of those years...
after that sophomore year trip that y'all came down, like everything was chopped up. And
that's what I mean. I'm trying to... I don't know. I'll have to talk
so,
to
like, you came down 3 times. You came down freshman year, then you came down sophomore year, and then you, Dad, Mom, Grandma. I don't think Rachel came.
I swear Rachel was there for
I don't know if Rachel came when I graduated, but
anyway.
It was a lot of fun. Remember when I caught my shin on the fucking hitch and Dad thought he ran me over? Dude, I remember you yelling when they called my name at graduation.
I screamed like a bitch.
Oh my god, dude! That was a goddamn football stadium, and the only thing I heard was you.
Dude, I
go and sit back down, and my buddy Paul goes, "Was that your brother?" I said, "Fuck yeah, that was my brother."
Dude, the whole row in front of me was like this Hispanic family, and when I screamed, they all went, "Whoo!" and they shot straight up, and I was like,
"Oh, it was clear as day."
I swear Rachel was there because
dude,
she was holding me back.
Dude,
but
that
I
was the
coolest. I was like, I had tears. Like it was a goddamn anime character. I was screaming and spitting.
I was.
Mom goes, "Was that?"
I was a little fucked up from the night before, but yeah, dude, that was cool. Got up there and
because
that was the only thing I heard was Craig yelling.
They said in the beginning, they said, "Hold your applause till the end," and I mumbled under my breath, "Fuck you," and Dad started laughing.
Yeah,
because he heard that, and I was like, "Oops." No, I was waiting. I was like getting through the A's. The
oh
B's,
my god, man, we were
let's fucking
when we were standing in like the.
I fucking stood up too.
The antechamber where everybody gathered. You know, where all the students showed up, checked in, and gathered.
Yeah.
I'm standing there with my buddy Kyle. Just a happy-go-lucky dude, you know, always in a good mood. He was one of those people you always wanted around because he was always in a good mood.
Just made your life better.
Yeah. Yes, like, you know, like, okay, I need somebody, when I'm falling apart, I need somebody that, Kyle was always in a good mood. And he was in my senior design team that last semester. And, some guy he knew that was in ROTC or whatever, guy was just shit-faced. Just shit-mouthed. This guy was like, he was huge, looked like a frat dude, just shit-mouthed. And it was funny because they called us in last. And he turns around and he yells, "It ain't like we didn't work the fucking hardest." He was just fucking shit-faced. And what was cool was they had a screen in the corner of the big room or whatever. And it was playing like slideshows of baby pictures and shit like that. And sure enough, I don't know how Mom and Dad did it. They snuck a couple of me in there. And I was sitting there talking to Trevor. God, I love that kid. I was sitting there talking to him. And like, he had pictures up there and shit like that. I was like, how the fuck? I was like, Mom never mentioned any of this shit to me. I was like, how the fuck did they get pictures to school?
She was sly.
And
because they sent it to the parents.
Yeah, they did all that stuff. But
they sent it to the parents.
It was funny, and yeah, they called us. They called the engineering majors in last. And one guy was like, "Yeah, it ain't like we worked the fucking hardest." He's all fucked up. And I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. You want to hold down the fort?
Well, no, I think we're at 1:37, so we should probably wrap it up.
Jesus Christ. All right.
This was a good one, though.
Tell them where we're at.
All right, let me look at it.
You can find us on Spotify, Harm's Way Podcast. You can find us on Amazon Music, Harm's Way Podcast. You can find us at TikTok, Instagram's Harm's Way Podcast.
You remember them, I can't. TikTok, we are at Harm's Way 8993 for now. Instagram, we are at Harm's Way Podcast. YouTube, we are Harm's Way Podcast. We are Harm's Way. Other than that, I don't know, fucking Google us. We're probably not that important yet, but
we'll see.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. This was a great one. We'll be back with you soon. Fuck, I don't know. We're going to eat some Taco Bell, and I'll see if I can talk Eric into doing an episode 11 tonight. But other than that,
might as well.
Are good. Episode 10. Fun. Great. Love you guys. Give us a like. Subscribe. Give us a fucking comment. Still waiting on that one comment on YouTube. How about that? Huh? I don't even care if you just like fucking comment like balls or fuck you or something. Give us something to answer. Either way, this is us. We are here. Love you. Eric, anything?
I'm good. Thanks for watching, listening, and we'll see you next time.
For episode 11.
Episode 11.
Bye.